Welcome to my channel Limelight Leaks. Please share and subscribe and hit the bell icon for new updates. The son of Louis Marius Prevost and Mildred Martinez, Robert Francis Prevost came into this world in Chicago, Illinois, on September 14, 1955. Coming from a deeply religious Catholic household, he sensed a call to the priesthood at a young age. In 1977 he became a member of the Augustine Fathers Order, and in 1981 he made solemn vows. Before obtaining his Master of Divinity from the Catholic Theological Union in Chicago, in 1982, Prevost received a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics from Villanova University in 1977. He continued his education in Rome's Pontifical University of St. Thomas Aquinas, where he earned a licentiate and a doctorate in canon law. Prior to his ordination as a priest on June 19, 1982, by Archbishop Jean Jadot, Prevost was known for his dedication to pastoral care and rigorous academic pursuits. With a strong educational background that combined theological depth with administrative savvy, he was well prepared for his future duties within the Church. He was prepared for the varied obstacles that would eventually come his way in his ecclesiastical career by the solid foundation he had during these formative years in church doctrine and governance. While ministering in the Chulucanas territorial prelature in Peru, Prevost began his missionary activity in 1985. He served as a lecturer at a seminary, a parish pastor and chancellor. In addition to teaching canon law and leading the Augustinian Seminary in Trujillo, he was a judge in the provincial ecclesiastical court from 1988 until 1998. His 10 years of service in Peru demonstrated his commitment to pastoral education and care, and he was well respected by both the clergy and the laypeople. Prevost was a more effective missionary because of his extensive knowledge of Latin American culture and his fluency in Spanish. In addition to strengthening the local church, his work in Peru deepened his dedication to social justice and the downtrodden, enriching his own spiritual journey. During this time, he evolved his pastoral practice, which now prioritizes compassion and inclusivity. His views on church matters on a global scale, especially as they pertain to the global South, would be shaped by his time in Peru. The Augustinian province of Chicago elected Prevost as prior provincial upon his 1999 return to the U.S. He assumed the role of prior general of the entire Augustinian order in 2001 and remained in that capacity until 2013. He was responsible for fostering vocations, overseeing the worldwide operations of the order, and making sure that Augustinian spiritual and administrative norms were followed while he was prior general. Under his guidance, the order was able to meet modern difficulties while staying true to its founding principles, a synthesis of tradition and innovation. During Prevost's time in office, the order made strides to better its formation programs and reach out to neglected areas. He became a revered leader in the wider church hierarchy, thanks to his administrative acumen and pastoral sensitivity, which brought him fame outside the Augustinian community. During this time, he established himself as an accomplished administrator and a visionary leader, traits that would subsequently bring him promotions to positions of greater ecclesiastical authority. On December 12, 2014, Prevost was consecrated as a bishop following his appointment as apostolic administrator of the Diocese of Chiclayo in Peru by Pope Francis in 2014. Starting in 2015, he will serve as the diocesan bishop until 2023. During his time as an archbishop, Prevost prioritized pastoral care, training future clergy, and reaching out to the community to help with problems like poverty and education. He was named to 2 positions in 2023. One as president of the Pontifical Commission for Latin America, and another as prefect of the Dicastery for Bishops. Notable duties included attending to the Latin American Church's needs and supervising the nomination of bishops on a global scale. The nominations of Prevost demonstrated Pope Francis's confidence in his leadership and congruence with the Pope's goal of a church that is more welcoming and missionary. His service in these roles further proved his pastoral sensitivity and dedication to ecclesial reform, making him an even more formidable candidate for positions of leadership in the Church. As a result of his distinguished leadership and devotion to the Church, Pope Francis promoted Prevost to the College of Cardinals in September 2023. In his capacity as a cardinal, Prevost maintained his impact on the worldwide Church. He was especially influential in the Dicastery for Bishops, where he pushed for a more democratic method of choosing bishops, one that included laypeople and communities. By elevating him, the Pope showed his support for leaders who are empathetic, humble, and have a strong bond with the faithful. As a cardinal, Prevost cemented his place as a pivotal actor in the Catholic Church's current reform and renewal movements. The College of Cardinals held a conclave after Pope Francis's death on April 21, 2025, and Cardinal Robert Prevost was elected the 267th Pope on May 8, 2025. He became the first Augustinian and American to become Pope, using the name Leo XIV. Many expected his election to carry on Pope Francis's focus on pastoral care and outreach to the Church's peripheries. Reflecting his dedication to inclusivity and worldwide outreach, Pope Leo XIV emphasized themes of unity, peace, and discussion in his inaugural address. His varied background as a missionary, teacher, and administrator prepares him to tackle modern issues confronting the Church, such as social inequality, interfaith relations, and secularization. The Catholic community around the world is hopeful that Pope Leo XIV would lead the Church in a renewed commitment to evangelization and modernization as he starts his papacy. With his diverse experiences and pastoral style, he is well suited to lead the Church in a compassionate and united way as it navigates the challenges of the modern era. Pastoral care, social justice, and environmental stewardship are central to Pope Leo XIV's vision for the Church. He hopes to carry on the efforts of his forebears in reaching out to underserved populations, advocating for world peace, and combating pressing global issues like migration and climate change. Encouragement of greater engagement from the laity and a sense of shared responsibility within the Church are hallmarks of his papacy, which is characterized by a commitment to inclusivity, dialogue, and a synodal approach to church governance. Pope Leo XIV's priorities show that he wants to lead the Church with compassion and humility, while also acknowledging the varied needs of Catholics around the world. The website nymag.com. Pope Leo XIV is embroiled in a number of scandals and difficulties, despite his numerous achievements. Some claimed he did nothing to address sexual assault charges that surfaced during his time in Peru. The matter is still up for debate, even though his backers claim the charges are politically driven. There are progressive groups within the Church that have criticized his conservative views on LGBTQ+ issues in his efforts to preserve unity and tackle the complicated issues confronting the Church today. Pope Leo XIV will face the formidable challenge of balancing the varied viewpoints within the worldwide Catholic community. The election of Pope Leo XIV has shaken up the Catholic world like no other. He marked a watershed moment in Church history by becoming the first American to hold the papacy, signaling a change in leadership and an acknowledgement of the Church's expanding importance. In the Americas, many Latin Americans consider his papacy as a confirmation of their efforts to build the Church worldwide, and his Peruvian citizenship and vast experience in the region have won him their hearts. His stance on environmental and social justice has made an impression on people all across the globe, and he is now considered a moral leader in this arena. On the other hand, the faithful are expecting him to solve long-standing problems and lead the Church through a time of change and uncertainty. Thus, his papacy is also under scrutiny and high expectations. Pope Leo XIV's capacity to lead the Church through its difficult times and enact significant reforms will determine the nature of his legacy as he continues his papacy. Because of his dedication to pastoral care, inclusion, and social justice, he has the makings of a revolutionary leader who will shake up the Catholic Church. His goal is to make the Church more responsive and compassionate by encouraging more participation and synodality among its members. Pope Leo XIV's distinctive background, experience, and vision provide promise for a reinvigorated Church that stays true to its mission in the modern world, even though the path ahead is filled with obstacles.